Hello VC, what's going on? It's me, Will, and I'm back with another music update video. And this is essentially going to be a continuation of my last video. So a few more recent finds from the last couple of months. Most of them are going to be new releases, a couple of reissues. I have 4 vinyl records and a couple of CDs, so let's go ahead and check it out. Let's start with this one. This one was one of my most anticipated new releases of the year. Of course, Jack White with Fear of the Dawn. A lot of people have been showing this record on VC videos the past few months. And this one came out just a few months ago in 2022 on Third Man Records, of course. And I actually bought this copy of Fear of the Dawn at the Third Man Records store in Nashville a few weeks ago. I was there on a road trip, and whenever I go to the Nashville area, I have to stop by Third Man Records. I love seeing what they have there, not only in the record side, but also just to see what they have in the store, because it's almost like a museum. They have cool records in the wall, and they also have an area where you can go in and play the guitar. If you're a musician, you can play the guitar and try different kinds of pedals. They have a listening room as well, or a listening booth, where you can play some records that they have available there. So it's a really cool spot. And I picked up this copy there at the Third Man Records store. I did miss out on the color vinyl version of Fear of the Dawn, but I ended up getting it came out with this little poster or an inner sleeve promoting the newest Jack White record, Entering Heaven Alive, that just came out a few weeks ago. So he did release a couple of 2 records this year, and this one was one of them. So I got just the standard black vinyl version with the custom labels, and there's the hype sticker. And the record came in, and I think this one was standard in all the vinyl pressings. Came in with 3 inner sleeves. And this kind of bothers me, the fact that they're all different sizes. I don't know why they did that. I would have preferred it if they were the same size. Maybe that's the OCD in me. But they have one bigger one, which kind of is a little bit more of a thicker cardboard paper, introducing the record, the credits, and the lyrics of side A. And they have a couple of smaller inserts with the lyrics for side B and some additional credits, some additional lyrics for side B, and a really cool picture, or a painting, I guess, of Jack. So yeah, as usual, really cool packaging from the records from Jack White and Third Man Records. It's one of the best record labels out there for sure. Music-wise, in my opinion, this record is an absolute masterpiece. I love this record. It's by far my favorite Jack White record of his solo career. Much better than the last few ones that he came up with in the last few years. This one is full 100% of bangers, just hard-rocking songs, wacky, very crazy guitar licks, experimental in a few of the songs, including the Heidi Ho song, which is the song that has the rapping part from Q-Tip. But the best tracks in this one, in my opinion, are Taking Me Back, Into the Twilight, The White Raven, and What's the Trick, which are the fastest songs in the record. All right, up next. And by the way, I usually try to share a short clip or a needle drop of one of the songs from the records that I show you in my videos. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in this video because out of the 4 vinyl records in this video, none came with the MP3 download code. And it's really strange and disappointing because it used to be the standard. If you bought the physical copy, especially on vinyl, you would automatically get the MP3 download code. And I think, of course, there were some record labels that never did that. I don't think Third Man Records ever did that, for example, but in general, most of them did provide that download code. And just in the last few years, a lot of the new releases are just not coming with MP3 downloads. which I don't know why. It must be a thing of the past. But anyways, up next. This one was also one of my most anticipated releases of 2022. The newest record from Pixies. And this one's called Doggerel. And it came out just a few weeks ago in 2022 on Pixies Music Records. So essentially a self-release. And by the way, I also bought this one in the Nashville area on my road trip. I stopped, of course, by Grimey's, which is one of the best record stores in the city. And yeah, I picked up the newest copy of the new Pixies record. Came in with a nice inner sleeve. I guess it's like this. Actually, like this. And some additional artwork and I think lyrics, which is completely upside down. And very 4AD kind of vibe in the whole artwork as usual, coming in from the Pixies. Came in with on yellow vinyl with the custom labels. And there's the hype sticker. In my opinion, the new records have been, all of them have been excellent. And this one is no exception. This one is a really, really good record. The problem is that I guess my suggestion is that if you're gonna listen to a new record from the reunited Pixies, you have to listen to it in a vacuum. You can't just compare it to the 4 classic records because you're always gonna be disappointed if you compare it to those 4 awesome and classic albums. So just listen to it for what it is. And what it is that it's a really, really good record. If you like the music from the Pixies, there is no way that you cannot like this record. It is absolutely excellent, excellent record. Some highlights from here, Vault of Heaven, great track, very Pixies-like record. Drax of the Wine, I love that track. If you like that kind of very classic Pixies, loud, quiet, loud kind of technique, you will definitely enjoy that song. It's very reminiscent to old Pixies. And then, of course, the single from the album, There's a Moon On. I love that song. It's an earworm. It's super catchy, very melodic. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that while I was at Grimey's picking up that new Pixies record, I also picked up this CD by the Pixies, which is the last record that came out from them back in 2019. And this one's called Beneath the Eyrie. And I picked it up on CD, even though I already have the vinyl copy, just because it's on a nice, kind of like a booklet style of packaging. And this one's gonna be kind of limited, or they only press a few of them, and they don't repress them again. So I wanted to pick it up since I missed out on it back in 2019. And yeah, I'm gonna try to find some of the older ones that also came out on this type of packaging, just so I can have the full collection of the post-reunion Pixies records on booklet packaging. And this one's still sealed, and of course if I want to listen to it, I'll listen to it on the vinyl that I already have open. So I'm going to keep it sealed for now. Alright, up next, this is my newest pickup, and it's the newest record from the new supergroup called Plosivs. And this one came out just a few months ago, earlier in 2022. And it came out on Swami Records. Plosivs, new supergroup, formed by John Reese from Rocket from the Crypt and the Hot Snakes. It also features Adam Willard from Against Me on drums. And the singer is a guy called Rob Crow from a band called Pinback. And the record came in with the inner insert with the lyrics. And the record, of course, came in on color vinyl. Bright red, matching the album cover and the Swami record labels. Great looking record. Alright, Plosivs. Like I said, the supergroup led by, or it's the newest project from John Reese, of course, from Rocket from the Crypt. And it sounds awesome. It sounds like a new Hot Snakes record. It has a kind of like the same vibe, very fast guitars, great rhythm guitars particularly. This one is all bangers, very fast-paced punk rock songs. If you check out something from this record, check out the song called Broken Eyes. Again, I don't think I'm going to be able to share a needle drop, but I'll put a link in the description to one of the songs from each of the records that I'm going to show you, just so you can get an idea of the music. But yeah, I've been a fan of John Reese since Rocket from the Crypt. And every time he comes up with a new project, I always check it out. And this one is one of my favorite projects from him. Definitely worth checking out. It may be one of my favorite albums of the year as well. Like I said, it is full of bangers, so if you play this record, play it loud. Alright, up next, this is a record that I picked up at a music festival that I went to a few weeks ago. It's a festival called Furnace Fest, and it's in Birmingham, Alabama every year. Fantastic music festival in case you're into pop punk, punk rock, and emo bands. This year they had a great lineup. I was only there for one day on Saturday. The headliner was Sunny Day Real Estate, and some other bands were The Joy Formidable, Cursive, and lots of really excellent pop punk bands. And one of the bands that really caught my attention while I was there was this band, Elliott. And this one's called False Cathedrals, and I got this record at the merch table, or the merch stand at the music festival from the band. And this record came out back in 2000 on Revelation Records. And there's the back. Here's the insert, or the lyrics. And the record itself came in, this is the newest reissue of the records. Of course, it's not an original from 2000. It came in on kind of like a Coke bottle, clear vinyl with the custom labels. Elliott is a band that formed back in 1995. They broke up in 2003, and they just recently reunited in 2022 for Furnace Fest. So the show that I went to see them was the first one since breaking up. And they actually played this full record in its entirety at the music festival. So it is their most famous album by far. And it's clear to see why, because this is an excellent emo album. And you can tell from the album cover, this is definitely an emo kind of vibe type of album. At least a goth or emo kind of looking album cover. But yeah, the music is excellent. I will say that it's not for everybody, because it does have that sound from that era, from the late 90s, early 2000s. Definitely sounds like an emo album. And I can see a lot of people being turned off by the vocals as well, because it was also a sound of the era. But once you get past the first couple of songs, and once you listen to the full record a couple of times, I think most people will realize that this is an excellent record. Alright, and while I was at Furnace Fest, I stopped by one of the vendors at the festival, which, by the way, Furnace Fest is kind of like a small Warped Tour, where they have all these stands or tents around the festival grounds, and they have like record labels, record stores, bands, signing posters, whatever, and you can buy stuff from them, and it's pretty great. I ended up finding this CD at one of the record store stands over there. It's a used CD from Elliott. This one's called Song in the Air, and it came out back in 2003, also on Revelation Records. And this CD is from back in the early 2000s, can be kind of hard to find, so I had to pick it up. Because after that, Elliott said I became a fan, and I had to buy a couple of things from them. Definitely a really good record as well. I would say not as great as False Cathedrals. This one's kind of hard to beat. Alright, and last but not least, I have one more CD to show you today. This one I picked up at the merch table when I went to see Bob Mould Solo Electric. He played live here in Atlanta at City Winery. I'm going to show you some clips of that record at the end of the video. Yeah, I picked up this CD at the merch table, which I've never seen before. At the merch table, they had all these records, but they were all I already have them in my collection. They were all the solo records that were released on Merge Records, as well as the Sugar reissue, Copper Blue, which I already have also on vinyl. This was the only one that I saw that I didn't have in my collection and actually never seen before. This one's called Bob Mould Band, live at ATP 2008. There's the back. Check out that track list. That track list is great. And the CD with digipack and write-up of the story about the show. And ATP apparently is All Tomorrow's Parties Festival in upstate New York. And apparently Bob Mould Band played there in 2008. They recorded it and they released it in this CD. Absolutely banger of a track list. I couldn't get my eyes off that track list. Check that out. And of course I had to buy it when I saw that track list. Of course, this being after Husker Du broke up, after Sugar, after the first run or that first era of Bob Mould's solo albums. It includes a lot of songs from all those projects. So songs from Husker Du, songs from Sugar, and songs from his solo albums. So the first, I think, 6 or 7 songs are all from Sugar and from his solo projects from back in the 90s. And the last 5 tracks in the album, absolutely classic songs from Husker Du. Check that out. It's I Apologize, Charter Trips, Celebrated Summer, Makes No Sense at All, and New Day Rising. This guy knows how to write a set list for his shows, especially closing with those 5 classic Husker Du songs. Excellent, excellent show. Great addition to my collection. And I actually didn't have any live Bob Mould in my CD or vinyl collection. I only saw it on CD. I haven't seen this one on vinyl. And I'm also going to show you, I'm going to share, since I have this one on CD, I'm going to share a short clip of one of the songs from the CD. And then at the end, I'm going to share some clips from Bob Mould playing live, solo acoustic at City Winery in Atlanta. But yeah, that's it for me, VC. Thank you for watching. I'll be back soon. Hopefully, I'm going to try to make another video this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.